it is finally time for me to talk about Black Mirror, specifically ranking the Black Mirror episodes. Now, I wanted to initially do like a full ranking. How many episodes are there? I think there's like 26 or 28. I don't know. There's so many of them. And I was going to go through and do a really in-depth ranking, but then I was like, you know, that number's a perfect amount for a tier list. And those are just more fun to film. I'm sorry. But so we're doing a tier list of the big, I would say Big Brother. That's starting next week. So my brain is on Big Brother. Black Mirror episodes. Speaking of Big Brother though, if you're interested, no one is probably, I will be doing content on a different TikTok. I made a whole new TikTok specifically for Big Brother content. If you're curious, lots of commentary, live reactions, things like that. I'll link it down below if you want to watch me talk about BBUS. Anyway, firstly, I just want to thank Scentbird for sponsoring today's video. I'm really excited to work with them again because I love getting new scents and I love the perfumes. I love them. Scentbird is a fragrance subscription service that allows you to try a brand new designer fragrance every single month for just $17. And personally, I love this service so much because I rarely purchase full-size perfumes anymore. For one, they're really expensive, and two, I never go through an entire bottle. Like I just recently had to throw away a bunch of old full-size ones because they were like, I'm not gonna lie, they were like 10 years old. That's like the level of hoarding I was at, so I had to throw them away. But Scentbird gives you a 30-day supply in this little vial, and it's so much perfume. It's supposed to last you 30 days, but for me personally, it lasts me so much longer because I don't use the same perfume every day. I kind of space it out and mix it up depending on my mood. They're great for traveling, obviously, as well, and I love keeping one of these little vials in my purse or my bag at all times. So the latest ones that I picked out are so good. I say this every time I work with them, but I just feel like my choices get better and better and better. So the first one, not gonna be able to pronounce this, Aqua di Parmi Magnolia Infinite. It's on the screen. This has a bergamot, orange, jasmine, but what really comes through for me with this one is the floral. This one's so floral and like strong, and it makes a statement, that's for sure. The next one is Kenzie. This one is Juicy Peach, Mandarin, and Rose with jasmine and violet in it. Oh my god, this one's probably my favorite, hands down. It kind of reminds me of Juicy Couture perfumes in a really good way, so this would be a really good transitional scent for me to go into fall. Then we have House of Beau Lamar, which is jasmine, pink pepper, gardenia, and coconut and almond milk. I feel like the coconut really is prevalent in this one. Very summery, very pretty. And then we have Rag & Bone, which is their bergamot scent, which obviously has bergamot, petitgrain, cedar, orange blossom, cashmere wood, but it smells more floral than that to me. The orange blossom really must be like a stronger scent in this. There are over 600 designers to choose from on Scentbird, including Prada and Gucci, but they also have lots of indie brands as well, like Skylar, Heretic, and Confessions of a Rebel. So make sure to click the link down below to visit Scentbird's website or app, or you can scan the QR code to save 55% on your first month's order, which makes it just around $8 for your first month at Scentbird, which is such a good deal for one of these vials. Let's start ranking. I'm gonna try to go in order of the episodes, so you can skip around in this video. I'll have timestamps linked down below for each season if you want to jump around, you just don't care about some seasons. Anyway, starting with the first tier, it was hard to figure out how I wanted to rank these episodes because I could either rank them based on believability, like how likely they are to happen, but then that's not gonna be top tier episodes for me personally. I want to rank them based on how much I like them. So we're going to rank them based on my enjoyment of them, and it will be an actual ranking video. I'll try to list them in order, maybe in the tiers themselves. I don't know, we'll play around. So the top tier, we're going to say I'm feeling things. The reason why I decided to go with I'm feeling things because it could be a positive or negative feeling, but that doesn't take away from my enjoyment of it or like the entertainment value for me personally. I hope that makes sense. My rankings never do. So the next tier, we're going to say funny, haha. These are the episodes that are like a good time. These are the ones that are really entertaining and are either funny or just they're weird, but not in a scary sense, because I don't really see Black Mirror as true horror. Although as we develop in technology, it's pretty weird to look at the beginning like episodes of Black Mirror and to think where we are today, especially with AI. It's a little bit funny. And then the next tier will be funny weird. But these are the ones that like are a little too real. They hit a little too close to home and not in an entertaining way. And they're just not, I wouldn't rewatch them. And then the last one, obviously these are the worst episodes in my opinion. I'm gonna say AI could do better. Even if they are realistic or could happen, these are just not good episodes. Boring. I feel like AI could have written a better episode. I'm sorry, that's really harsh. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Obviously, we're starting with season 1, episode 1, the national anthem. This one's funny because this is the introduction to Black Mirror, and I feel like a lot of people stop here. I think it's a running joke of like, don't watch the first episode, or if you do, keep watching because it obviously gets better. Because this episode, what the heck, it was some starter, I'll tell you that. I'm gonna say funny weird. I don't think it's the worst episode, and it makes you feel things, that's for sure, but in like a weird way. I don't know, I feel like sometimes these kind of messed up episodes can be fun. So you'll probably see my controversial opinion for some of these that are like a little more than disturbing, a little bit controversial. Next up, we have 15 Million Merits. This episode is by far one of the most underrated episodes of this show because this episode is so good. I love the dystopian aspect of it. Obviously, every episode is pretty dystopian in some way because it's Black Mirror. It's about technology, right? Daniel Kaluuya is in this and he's just incredible. I love him. This one gets a little messed up. I'm not going to be doing spoilers for any of these episodes, by the way, so if you haven't seen them, you can feel safe watching this video. But if you know, you know on this episode. It gets a little sad. And I'm going to put it in I'm feeling things. Again, I'm going to try to rank them within the tiers as much as I like them. I know what my number 1 spot is, so I'm leaving that open. But for now, we'll put it at number 2, but I'll probably move that around as well. Next, we have The Entire History of You. Okay, my opinion on the Black Mirror episodes that attempt to do romance, there are only 2 episodes that I like of the romantic kind. Well, I guess one of them, the most recent one, you could consider to be a romantic story, but less in this style, you know what I mean? But these ones that are like sad or like, you know, they're cheating or things are happening in the relationship, I don't like these episodes. This one is sad and messed up and I don't like it. Like, I don't like romance movies in general or romantic stories or anything like that. So for me, if it's like really sad, it's not fun to watch. You know, it's okay. It's not the worst of the worst. So we'll put it in the front of AI could do better. This one definitely needs to be going down the line here. Next we have Be Right Back. Come on. I'm feeling things, but the romantic angles of things are not my favorite. I feel like I really should be describing what these episodes are actually about. So let's start doing that. So this is one where technology allows you to bring back, or, you know, bring back people from the dead, I guess. So her husband passes and she uses this technology to kind of bring him back around and he's just not the same. Funny weird. It's not funny weird, but I don't want to put it in bottom tier. The romance ones are just not my thing. White Bear. This episode's really good. I love this episode. It's about a woman who wakes up in this house and as she kind of, you know, escapes this house, she is confronted by everyone filming her. Like, she goes outside in the world, everyone's filming her, and she's going through this process trying to figure out what is going on, and then there's a huge twist in it. The episodes that have twists in them are hands down my favorite. So this is definitely one of those that I really enjoy. This one's going top tier. I'm feeling things. It's going behind 15 Million Merits. 15 Million Merits, I'll explain for a second. So it's in this dystopian universe where you live in the, like the cell and all the walls or screens and you can watch shows or whatever. There's tons of advertisements and basically you're peddling to create energy and you're earning merits and you can use those merits for certain things like applying to go on TV shows and whatnot. So he helps this girl go on a TV show. The Waldo moment, honestly, I couldn't even sum this episode up for you because this episode is so forgettable to me. Let me look it up so I can explain what this episode is about. Okay, so this bear, the CGI bear, was once for children, and they decided to give him his own show, and then it becomes political and he runs in a political race, and it's just not that good in my opinion. This episode is kind of boring, so we're gonna put this in AI could do better. White Christmas. This episode is actually, so it's considered season 2 episode 4, but it actually aired in December, so it is a anthology episode. Oh, I forgot to include Bandersnatch in this. Damn. Okay, Bandersnatch is not in this, but I'll try to leave a comment where I'd rank it. That's the interactive episode that they came out with. That was kind of fun. Anyway, White Christmas is like an anthology. So there's 3 different tales going on, but there's one major one where 2 men are like trapped in this secluded house cabin thing in a snowstorm, and again there's like a twist in it and everything. This one is really good. I love the anthology episodes, and there's 3 different stories going on, so it's long, it's really good. I'm gonna put this in top tier for now, or I'm gonna put it there for now in 4th place. I don't know, I might rearrange that. Next we have season 3, so we have Nosedive. This episode is so good. So basically this one is set, again, dystopian. There's technology where you can see everyone's ratings. Everything is based in like social media, kind of like Instagram, and based on your ratings is how you get on in life. So your social status online really impacts your day-to-day life, what apartments you can apply for, like people who you hang out with impact your score. And this girl's trying to get her to her friend's wedding because her friend is a very high social status and she knows it'll increase her ranking in order to go to this wedding when she's around all those people. So this is hands down my favorite episode of all time for Black Mirror. I have rewatched this episode so many times. I think it is so good. It makes you feel things, but it's also light. It's not so heavy. Some of these episodes are obviously really heavy. Nosedive is incredible. Next we have Playtest. This episode 2, obviously. This one's fun. This is about a new VR video game experience, and he signs up to play this horror game that you go to this house and then the chip is kind of implanted and you're able to like hallucinate the game itself, so it feels more real. And that's fun, but this guy, the lead, is really annoying. Like I can't get past him. So it's not my favorite. It has a lot of potential. We're gonna put it in funny haha in like 2nd place, I guess, because this is one of the fun ones that's not too messed up or anything. Shut up and dance. Listen. This is one of those controversial ones that I love. I know people think this episode is bad or, you know, it's disturbing, but the twist in this is like Sixth Sense, M. Night Shyamalan twist coming at you. If you're gonna watch any with a twist, it's this one. But I will say, the content is disturbing a bit, but I love the concept. So basically he is being blackmailed to complete all these tasks, and then there's like a final task that he has to do, and I'm not gonna say anything else, but basically he's being blackmailed and he has to like complete all these tasks. I love this episode. I do not even care to say, and I'm gonna put it in top tier. I think it's one of the best episodes because of how impactful it was and like the shock value of this episode. San Junipero, this is one of the only romantic episodes that I actually like. So there's this technology that allows you to kind of visit this simulated reality. So these elderly people can like go visit this different reality and still live out life despite them being old. They're like in an old home. And yeah, it's just a romantic story and it's really, really cute and sad and everything. So this one definitely top tier as well. Do I put it there? I think it definitely deserves to move up. So we're gonna do some rearranging here. Men Against Fire, this isn't my favorite. It is a war story and there are these roaches that these soldiers are trained to kill, and they see them as roaches, and then they discover that they are actually there's more to it than that. It's not that well done in my opinion. It's not funny by any means, but we'll put it here. Lastly, for season 3 we have Hated in the Nation. Also don't like this one. This is another one that I have to look up what the plot is because I don't really remember. I think it's like oh yeah, okay, so these are like weird deaths that are happening through social media. So there's like a hashtag that's created and whoever gets the most uses of the hashtag ends up dying. So it's kind of like dark web kind of stuff. Definitely an interesting use of social media, and maybe I could see happening. This one will go in funny weird, but it's not very strong of an episode in my opinion. Let's move on to season 4, USS Callister. So this guy right here, Jesse Plemons in the middle, he is kind of a nerdy office worker, and he kind of kidnaps his coworkers' consciousness, I guess you would say, and puts them into like a Star Trek themed game. It's a fun episode. This one's really fun. I'm gonna put this in funny haha. I'll put it below playtest though, because I would rather watch playtest than USS Callister. Next we have Archangel. This episode I don't think I could rewatch as a new mom of a daughter because it's just sad, and I relate to this level of anxiety for your child. And I hate that I say that. I would never do this, obviously. But I get it. But I just feel like they missed the mark on this one. I'm gonna put it, let's put it here. Right here. Definitely a funny, weird episode. It's, yeah, not that good. Crocodile, again, is another one that I feel like this story has been done before. I don't know. They kind of copied themselves in this one. They've done a lot of these kind of like, oh, it records your memories and we can rewatch them type of technology. So that's what happens here. And she's trying to cover up for someone who did a hit and run. But then, you know, you can access the memories. So they kind of use it in a trial sense. And it's interesting, but I just feel like it wasn't original for Black Mirror. I feel like Black Mirror is one of those shows that's so original, and I look forward to seeing what kind of use they're going to use of technology, and this is just did not work for me. I'm going to say AI could do better, but we're going to move it up a little bit, so we'll rearrange. Because it's not terrible. The concept's cool, but it would have been better if this was like I saw it before other ones, kind of like The Entire History of You is very similar to that, and he can watch anyone, like his wife's past memories, and that's how they find out, you know, she's, you know. So maybe if it came out first, I'd like it more, but either way, I just feel like it's a lazy use of technology for Black Mirror anyway. Hang the DJ is the only other romantic story that I actually genuinely love, because it's not cruel to the people in the episode. I don't know. I don't like seeing like cruelness for these kind of characters because they're good people. So I'm gonna put this one, I'll do funny haha. We'll do first place in funny haha. It's not as good as San Junipero by any means, but it is a really solid episode if you want like a romantic story. I love the ending. It's just a beautiful fun story. Metalhead. Okay, this is another one I don't really remember. This is the one that's shot in black and white, obviously. They're like these weird robotic dogs. This one's more apocalyptic. This one feels more apocalyptic, and it's about these scavengers that are searching for supplies and things, and they find these robot dogs, and the dogs design themselves is really cool. I call them dogs, but they're like robots. So it's the visuals are cool. I'm gonna put it in bottom tier though. I feel like AI could do better. Yeah, I just don't love the story. It's forgettable. It's one of the forgettable ones to me that I have to look up and see what it was actually about. Lastly, for season 4, we have Black Museum. Hands down one of the best episodes of the entire series. So this is another one that's more anthology style. There's like a overarching story of this girl who visits a museum in the middle of nowhere, and there's a strange man who's like taking her around the different attractions, I guess, and there's stories behind them and they're playing out, and the main attraction is really where it's at, and that is, it's a great story and great ending. I just love I wish these were like full movies. They're kind of the length of full movies, so they could be, but this is definitely one of the strongest episodes, and I'm gonna have to do some rearranging on the top here, so bear with me. I'm gonna say Black Museum is like number 2 for me. And then I like White Christmas. I gotta move White Christmas up. Okay, I'm gonna stick with that for now. Okay, season 5, episode 1, Striking Vipers. This I know exactly where I'm gonna put this one. This one is another kind of romantic story, if you want to call it that. These two guys, friends, playing a video game together, but it's through VR, so they are kind of entering this video game. Every time they play, they start to have feelings for one another within the game as their characters. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna say about that. The ending of this one, I'm gonna put it in funny haha. I'm gonna put it up though. The ending of this episode, like the last shot, is so bleak to me, and it's very sad. So it's not super haha all the time, but it's just, yeah, the concept is kind of fun. You know, they're in this game and they fall in love with each other. Next we have Smithereens, and this is about a guy who kind of abducts, I'm gonna say the Twitter CEO. So it's a social media app that's similar to Twitter, and he finds out that he is actually a major part in this social media app, and he holds him hostage for his own benefit. Not the best. Not the best. This one I'm going to put in AI could do better. We'll move it up a little bit and put the Waldo moment last, because I don't like the episode at all. I really hate that the national anthem's that high now that I'm looking at everything, but it's still like in last place of that tier, just so you know. Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2. This one obviously stars Miley Cyrus, and she played, so there's a teen who becomes obsessed with Ashley and the doll, basically, and then she starts to discover like what her life is actually like, so it's kind of like her idol. This one's good. I'd say yeah, we'll put it in funny haha, but it's gonna be in last place in funny haha, I think, because it's not my favorite, but I don't want to put it all the way down here in the third tier because it doesn't deserve that. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the latest season of season 6, starting with Joan is Awful, of course. This one was really funny, but I do feel like they pushed the comedy a little too much. I don't love when Black Mirror tries to be like ultra funny. I don't love that either. Ultra romantic and ultra funny, not really my thing with Black Mirror episodes. It's not what I prefer. They have a variety of episodes. Obviously there's something for everyone, so they can do what they want to do with the comedy, but this one was just, now the concept is so layered. It's obviously very, very relevant to the writer's strike that is currently happening right now. It's literally what is happening. Basically, production companies want to pay actors to not steal their likeness, but pay them very small amount in order to use their likeness in perpetuity, and use AI in order to do that. So they're kind of losing out on money and casting and things because they're not going to be cast in certain things if they're able to use their likeness, which is exactly what happens in Joan is Awful. I'm going to put it in last place in funny haha just because it wasn't my favorite episode. My partner really liked this episode, but I don't know. The comedy was a little bit slapstick at times and not super hilarious, although there's some really good cameos in this that you have to see. Like Salma Hayek. I'm not going to say too much because I want it to be a surprise for you, but it's funny. Loch Henry. This episode is about this couple who goes to his mom's house, and they are trying to film like this documentary on this killer in the area, and then they stumble upon some things and there's a big revelation and a big twist. I was not a fan. This episode had nothing to do with Black Mirror. I was like waiting for the technology to come in, and there was none. It was like VHSs. That's literally all the technology that was in it, besides like this drone and their filming technology. There was nothing new technology about this, and so to me it did not feel like Black Mirror at all. I'm gonna put this in AI could do better. I'm gonna move these down a little bit because I don't think it's as bad as these ones. Like, I'd rewatch it, but it didn't feel like a Black Mirror episode at all. Next we have Beyond the Sea. So this was a movie, basically. It was a movie length for sure. It stars Aaron Paul and Kate Mara. I thought they were really great. This was hands down my favorite episode of season 6. And I feel like not a lot of people like this one. I was seeing some feedback that people liked the last episode of Black Mirror of the last season, and not so much this one. So basically this one follows an astronaut, Aaron Paul, and his coworker, who they are up on a ship, and they have technology where they can visit Earth in these like robotic versions of themselves, so their consciousness can kind of travel back down to Earth so they can spend time with their families. Well, the other guy that he is with, his family is killed. So this takes place during the Manson murders. So then they're kind of dealing with that. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good. So it's a lot. Definitely going in top tier. I'm feeling things. I'm gonna put it up here though. Like, I'm gonna move these around because it was really solid. Definitely my favorite episode of the latest season. Will I ever rewatch it? Absolutely not. It's not one of those episodes because it's so heavy. But it was really, really well done. Next up, we have Maisie Day. So this is actually the shortest episode of Black Mirror ever. This one was really good. I did not see that twist coming, and the twist that it is, I usually see coming. Like, it's usually very straightforward when show or movie is going to go that way, and I did not see it at all. I saw it maybe like 30 seconds before the reveal, and I was like, oh, and I called it, but still only 30 seconds before. It was such a good surprise. I liked it a lot. So we're going to put it up, I think, higher than Striking Vipers. I'm going to put it this high. I'm going to put it after Playtest. Because it was kind of straightforward. Oh, I should probably tell you what it's about. I forgot. This girl's basically a paparazzi, and she is trying to track down this major celebrity because there's big money in it. I think it takes place in the early 2000s, which I really like because you don't see that very often. You usually see 80s, 90s, and every episode of the season 6 was in a different kind of time period. So that was really fun. And this one was early 2000s, which, as you know, is my favorite. So that was an extra little layer that I liked. But basically she is trying to track down this celebrity, and she finds her, but it's not what you think. Anyway, lastly, the last episode, Demon 79. This one is another one of those comedic ones, so it's supposed to be really, really funny. The concept's cool. So basically this girl is working at her job. It takes place in the 70s, and she finds this like totem thing and takes it home with her, and it kind of summons this demon, which is this lovely guy over here, and he tells her that she needs to kill 3 people in like 3 days. And so she has to choose who to kill and whatnot. I wish the comedy was toned down a little bit because I like that idea. But again, nothing about it felt Black Mirror. There's no technology. Even though it's in the 70s, it's just a demon coming through a totem. We've seen that before. There was nothing really unique about it in that sense. I thought the time period was really effective, and visually it worked. And the characters are fun. Like, I thought, you know, the demon was funny at times. But at the same time, it didn't feel like a Black Mirror episode at all. But I saw so many people say this is their favorite episode, and I don't understand that because it's not really a Black Mirror. Like, what about it is super Black Mirror? You know what I mean? I did like the ending though. The ending shot was really cool. So this is going to go right here in the spot I kept open for it. And that's a good spot for it, actually. I didn't even know I was going to put it there. This is actually probably one of the most balanced tier lists that I've ever done. Let me know down below what your favorite Black Mirror episodes are, your least favorite, anything that you want to comment on about my ranking. But there you have it. And they are in fact ranked within the tiers. So that is the actual ranking of my favorite and least favorite episodes of Black Mirror. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.